Step into the world of Float, Sizzle, and Chill, where I, Dr. Schrier, take you on a captivating healing voyage each week. Explore state-of-the-art approaches to rejuvenate your body and mind. Our mission is to bring you the finest treatments and therapies for complete healing. Today, my guest is Scott Perry, general manager of the Knicks for 6 years. He worked with the Detroit Pistons for 12 years, and they went to the Eastern Conference champions 6 straight years during his time there, and they even won an NBA championship in 2004. At the moment, he is transitioning in his career, and I'm excited for the show. So, just a little update. Here's a shirt for the Pay It Back Pizza. This is about like the 3rd or 4th week since we created this. The goal is to empower and hire low-income and homeless people to get them out of a bad situation, give them life skills, give them business skills so that eventually they can do it on their own without needing any assistance. So instead of giving them help, we're actually teaching them how to help themselves. So I'm really excited about that. And I have Scott Perry here that you've probably seen him on TV. This isn't his first interview, actually. He coached basketball at the college level for many years, including getting to the Elite Eight, which is a big deal. And then he's also been in the NBA for many years as general manager and front office. So that's some pretty high accolades. That's awesome.
Thank you so much. Been a long career. Spent 23 years in the NBA. So it's time to step away just for a little bit, but I'm still going to be heavily involved in basketball. And I must say, this is my first experience of having an interview inside a sauna that's probably 180, 190 degrees. So just letting the listening public know that. So it's great to try, but I'm enjoying it. I'm getting a workout at the same time. So
exactly. That's awesome. Well, so before we get into basketball, which I'll definitely cover, but I wanted to congratulate you on retiring, which just doesn't sound like you're totally retired. It sounds like you're going to be doing some fun things.
Yes, I'm excited about what lies ahead in the future. Mm-hmm. And but I've got a lot left to give, though. I'm still a young man. That's why I work out and pay attention to my health, because I'm a long ways away from just saying I want to sit back, golf every day, and just take it easy. So even though I love to play golf.
Yeah. That's actually, we've known each other for a little bit, and when you said you were moving down here retiring, I thought that's what you were going to do, is just play golf every day. But it sounds like you have different plans, and I find that a lot with successful people, that they take breaks, but they're not really done.
Right. That's a good way to put it. Just stepping back. Just time.
You need to recharge, right?
I did 6 years in New York, which is a long time, and had some good success there. You know one thing I can tell you is that when I arrived in New York in 2017 and left in 2023, there's no question that the team and organization is in a much better place. So that is very fulfilling. That's
great. That's awesome. And you were mentioning a few minutes ago that when you were at the Detroit Pistons for 6 years, all 6 years you guys went to the conference finals, and in 2004 you actually won the world title, which is amazing. So what was that like?
That was obviously the highlight of my career. Really. I mean, you started to take things for granted, because I started in Detroit in 2000. Right. 2 years later, we're sitting in the conference finals, and it seemed like every year that was our rite of passage. Mm-hmm. And there was so many great relationships that came out of there with the front office people, mm-hmm. coaches, players. It was an awesome time to just really see what is be a part of really creating a family. People talk about families and cultures and all that, but we epitomized that, and I think it was as good as any team in the NBA during that stretch, mm-hmm. and really since then as well. So I would put that organization in that time up there as one of the highlights of my professional basketball career.
That's amazing, and I like that you said it was like a family. So I think that the relationships definitely probably help to get to that level of playing, right? Like, doesn't happen if everybody's mad at each other and everybody has their own way of doing things, right?
Oh, there's no question that you gotta to come together and be willing to help one another and maybe sacrifice just a little bit of your own personal goals for the greater good of the team.
Totally.
And those guys did. And the beauty of it is the relationship still exists now. After all those guys are pretty much retired from playing, but I still have relationships with those players. Still have a relationship, the president of the team, Joe Dumars, who was a Hall of Famer himself, and people like John Hammond, who was on the staff there. So it's just a very tight-knit group, and we remain that really to this day, and that's what success and winning can do, and doing things the right way.
That's awesome. I love that. And so that brings me to a question I was going to ask later, but it kind of came up now. You said sometimes people have to like sacrifice a little to help the greater good of the team. Obviously in professional sports, we know there's some egos. How do you manage that being like a general manager, keeping people's egos in check and making sure they're on board, but balancing not, interrupting who they are?
Right. I think, and that's important. The last point you made, you want players to remain themselves, because then you're going to get the truest version of themselves, and it manifests itself with their play.
Yeah.
But what's important is there's so many examples over the history in sports, not just basketball, but football, baseball, whatever the team sport may be, where winning creates the ultimate success for all of the individuals.
Right.
And getting guys to really understand that, okay, would you rather average 22 points a game and be a champion, or 28 points a game and not win?
Right. Yeah.
So those are the kind of discussions, those are the kind of things that are talked about.
So back to a little bit of health topics.
Okay.
Because this podcast is also about health.
Absolutely.
So you started doing flotation therapy recently in my office.
Right.
And it seems like you really like it a lot. What does it feel like to you, and what benefits do you notice?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, it totally relaxes my body and mind. And it gets, when I'm done with that 30-minute therapy, I'm totally refreshed. I've been at peace for 30 minutes. Your mind is not cluttered and pain issues, not debilitating, but just maybe irritating, if you will.
Yeah, totally.
But that's been a big part. That flotation has really been helpful for me, both physically and mentally.
That's awesome.
You just feel like you're suspended in water, air, whatever.
You can really recharge, and I don't know what, the universe or your subconscious, something reconnects, and then whatever was the issue kind of just resolves itself. That's what I've found.
Yeah, it's hugely important to have the ability to be able to step away from time to time, from the daily grind, the daily monotony, if you will, of thought, stress, whatever the case may be. And that 30 minutes on that flotation device surely has introduced me to a tool, if you will, that where I can do that. So I enjoy it very much, and going to incorporate it in my health and wellness routine.
Perfect. I love hearing that. I'm pretty passionate about it. And I think, everybody at home should be doing it, whether they try it at a place, or there's, home versions that you can get that aren't that expensive. And you find it safe and gentle, right?
So, yes, I haven't had any issues post-treatment.
Right. Not too bad? Perfect. You got this. It's going to be easy. And you're going to feel like amazing afterwards. I swear.
All right.
You good?
Okay.
So Scott, that was fun in the sauna, right?
Yeah, it was fine.
All right, cool.
It was the first time for everything. Interviewing a sauna, what was it, 190 degrees in there?
Yeah, it was 190 degrees. So we made it to 20 minutes.
Yeah. Shows you how strong the mind can be at times.
Yeah, exactly. We just talked about that, how strong the mind is. It's way more than you think you can do. I was going to ask you, what 3 tips could you give for people at home that are simple, that they can do to improve their health or their life?
Working out, number one for me, I think.
Yeah.
I try to do cardio every single day. I think weight training, resistance training is equally as important.
Totally.
I shoot for 45 minutes at the minimum to an hour and 15 a day.
Yeah.
I don't miss a day.
That's amazing. I love that.
And on a light day, it may just be a 3-mile walk.
Yeah. Yeah, even walking is good for your health.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes. Number 2 would be diet.
Diet's
and I think
huge.
that's the biggest challenge for us. I shouldn't say a thing. I know that's my biggest challenge.
Mine too.
I try to eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to stay away from the sweets, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah. I mean, I think that a lot of people have that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But diet is huge, because if you're not dieting properly, effectively, all of the training you're doing,
Right.
the training is still helpful, but you're not maximizing that training.
Right.
Then the last thing is quality sleep.
Yep.
That is huge.
Mm-hmm.
For me, 7 hours
Mm-hmm.
is optimum for me. I know there's studies that may say 8 to 9 hours,
I like 7.
but I'm good at 7. I can function at 6, 6.5, but 7, I feel totally rested.
That's awesome. I love those tips. I think that the workouts every day are important. Sometimes people think that they can't work out or it's too hard, but if you just start with something small like a walk and build up from there, it gets easier. So just everyday consistency. The eating is huge. I think we all, most people have a sweet tooth, and it's okay to give in once in a while, but it can't be every day, or else you're undoing the workouts. And sleep, if you're not sleeping, it's, you can't function as good, based on science. So yeah, I think you did hit the nail on the head with all 3 of those. We talked about, what charity you want to donate, because you made it through the sauna, and even though you said you didn't want it, guess what? You made it through the sauna, and you actually made it through the cold plunge, which you didn't even want to do.
Right.
Before we did this, you said you weren't going to do it, but
That's
here you
right.
are. You look relaxed.
Made it.
You look great. So, what charity are you going to donate to?
I think I offer that to your ability to talk me into this.
All right.
But it's I'm glad I did it. Yes, you were very persistent in getting me in here.
Yeah.
I just came back from Detroit, Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
where I was in a benefit golf outing for a charity.
Mm-hmm.
A basketball player that I coached at the University of Michigan years ago opened a charter school in the city of Detroit
Mm-hmm.
some 13 years ago, Jalen Rose,
Okay, great.
who was part of the Fab Five. So
Wow.
I would like to donate more to the charter school there, that charity.
Perfect.
Because it helps so many young people get educated and start them on the right track to a bright future.
That's awesome. So we're going to donate $250 in your name to them. And, that's the same thing with the mission with the Pay It Back pizzas. We want to help people that, maybe don't get the right opportunities to give them that opportunity to succeed. And last question was, who do you want to nominate for another episode of Float, Sizzle, and Chill? Give you a couple minutes to think about that.
I may nominate my daughter. My daughter Chelsea was the one that introduced me to you.
All right,
And I think she would enjoy this and do great at it.
Perfect. I love Chelsea. She has an awesome spirit and energy, so I'm looking forward to have Chelsea on. So Chelsea, you've been nominated, and we're going to set it up.
All right.
All right, come on out, and then I'm going to get in there.
Do I have to get out now? It's probably going to be hard to get out.
Now you like it?
Exactly.
I can help you. So once you make it through the first...
We appreciate you floating, sizzling, and chilling with us today on this episode. To stay connected, consider showing your support by following, sharing, and awarding us a sizzling 5-star review on platforms like Apple or Spotify. Remember, you can participate in our weekly $1,000 raffle by submitting a review to Apple or Spotify and leaving a comment on the current YouTube episode. Check the episode description for instructions. You can reach us at www.dralon.com, DRELAN. Drop an email at info@dralon.com. Stay happy, healthy, and abundant.